Have you ever considered that the familiar blackberry, that dark, jewel-toned fruit, is far more than just a sweet snack?
Hmm.
What if we told you it holds a captivating story, one that stretches from ancient bogs to the cutting edge of genetic science, and then right into your kitchen as a powerful tool for culinary mastery?
That's quite a journey.
This isn't just about a tasty treat. It's deep dive into an ingredient with surprising depth, ready to elevate your entire approach to cooking and preparing food.
It truly is a remarkable journey. Today, our mission is to embark on a truly comprehensive exploration of the blackberry. We're going to unravel its intricate botanical secrets, understand its significant global impact, and then,
And this is the really fun part.
exactly, in true deep dive fashion, we're going to unlock the philosophical underpinnings and practical skills behind an astonishing collection of 22 different blackberry preserves.
22.
Yep. These aren't just recipes, they're lessons, each designed to build your kitchen competence and confidently navigate your culinary life, transforming you into a more intentional and skilled cook. You know, true adulting in the kitchen.
Exactly. For this deep dive, we've pulled from a detailed encyclopedic source to ground us firmly in the fascinating facts of the blackberry. Solid botanical stuff.
Right.
Then, we're shifting our focus to a truly unique and practical guide. Blackberry, the complete adulting preserve collection.
And this guide is really interesting because it's less about following instructions blindly
Right, not just step one, step two.
and more about understanding the why and how of food preservation. It's about mastery.
So if you're someone who craves knowledge quickly but thoroughly, who loves those aha moments that connect seemingly disparate facts, and wants to feel truly well informed without the information overload,
Then this deep dive is absolutely for you.
get ready to transform your understanding of this ubiquitous fruit. Okay, let's unpack this with a fact that often surprises people right off the bat. What exactly is a blackberry from a botanical standpoint? Because despite its name, it's actually not a true berry.
It's a common misconception, isn't it?
Mhm.
You hear berry and you think, well, blueberry, cranberry.
Yeah, exactly.
But botanically speaking, the blackberry is classified as an aggregate fruit.
Aggregate fruit. Okay, what does that mean?
It means it's not a single fruit developed from one flower with one ovary, like, a true berry, such as a blueberry or a grape.
Right.
Instead, a blackberry is formed from a single flower that has multiple ovaries. Each of those develops into a small individual fruit.
So each little bump is its own fruit.
Pretty much. They're called drupelets, and they're all clustered tightly together on a central core. So when you pick a blackberry, you're actually gathering a whole collection of these miniature fruits.
Whoa.
And each druplet contains the tiny seed, which is why a blackberry has that slightly crunchy texture sometimes.
And when we look at its scientific classification, it's quite an extensive family tree, placing it firmly within the rose family.
That always surprises people.
Roses. We're talking plantaetrichiophytes, angiosperms, eudicots, roses, rosalis, rosacea, rubus sub, rubus. That lineage really shows its specific place in the plant kingdom, connecting it to a surprising group of relatives.
What's truly fascinating about this detailed classification, especially the rubus genus, that's the key one, is how it helps us understand the historical complexities of blackberry taxonomy. The rubus genus is notorious among botanists for its tendency towards hybridization.
Meaning different species mix easily?
Very easily. They readily crossbreed, creating new forms all the time.
Right.
And on top of that, many blackberry species exhibit apomixis.
Up a what now?
Apomixis.
Hmm.
It's basically a type of asexual reproduction where seeds develop without fertilization.
Okay, so clones, essentially.
Kind of, yeah. A plant can produce genetically identical offspring through seed. This biological quirk leads to many subtle variations that look like distinct species, but are essentially clones or hybrids.
So it's messy for botanists.
Oh, incredibly messy.
Oh.
The combination of hybridization and apomixis often results in a dizzying array of closely related microspecies, making differentiation incredibly difficult. That's why botanists often group them into what are known as species aggregates.
Right, so identifying one specific blackberry species isn't straightforward.
Not at all. Much more complex than it seems.
Okay, here's where it gets particularly interesting for anyone who's ever found themselves at a farmer's market, puzzling over a basket of dark fruits. How do you definitively tell a blackberry from a raspberry?
Ah, yes, the classic confusion.
It comes down to a tiny, overlooked detail.
This is one of those aha moments that simplifies identification beautifully. The key lies in observing how the fruit detaches from the plant's torus.
The torus, that's the stem part.
Yeah, the central receptacle or core, essentially the little stem bit it grows on. When you pick a raspberry, the torus remains on the vine. It pulls away clean, leaving a distinct hollow core in the center of the fruit.
Like a little cup.
Exactly, like a tiny thimble-shaped cavity.
Mm.
In contrast, when a blackberry is picked, the torus stays with the fruit. It comes off the vine with the berry.
Ah, so that's why it doesn't have a hollow center.
Precisely. It's a simple physical characteristic, but it's the definitive botanical trait that distinguishes these two closely related rubus fruits. Easy check.
Beyond their scientific classification, there are some really interesting regional names and terms that highlight the blackberry's place in different cultures. For example, the word bramble.
That's right. Traditionally, in certain regions, bramble was used quite specifically to refer to the blackberry plant or its fruits, conjuring images of its dense, thorny thickets.
Makes sense. They are brambly.
Definitely. However, in the United States, the term bramble is often used more broadly now to encompass all members of the rubus genus. So it can include both blackberries and raspberries.
Okay.
And if you head to the western U.S., you'll commonly hear caneberry as a collective term for both, probably because of how they grow on those long stems, or canes.
Sangberry. Okay.
You might also encounter briar or briar. Those terms generally refer to any dense, thorny vine, not exclusively blackberries, but they certainly fit the description of a wild blackberry patch.
Right. These linguistic variations really show how common these plants are.
Exactly. How deeply ingrained they are in various local cultures and agricultural landscapes.
Now let's turn our attention to the blackberry plant itself. Its life cycle is quite unique. It's not like your typical annual flower or even a long-lived tree.
It's a fascinating duality. Blackberries are perennial plants, which means their root system can live for many years, providing a consistent foundation underground.
Okay, so the roots stick around.
Right. However, their stems, which we call canes, are biennial. This means each cane has a 2-year life cycle.
2 years. Interesting.
In its first year, a new shoot emerges, called a primocane. These primocanes grow quite vigorously, often reaching impressive lengths of 3 to 6 meters.
Wow, that's like 10 to 20 feet.
Yeah, they can really sprawl, typically trailing along the ground if you don't support them. During this first year, they produce large, distinctive palmate compound leaves with 5 to 7 leaflets.
Mm-hmm.
But crucially, these primocanes are focused solely on vegetative growth. They do not produce any flowers or fruit in year 1.
Just getting big and strong.
Pretty much. Their purpose is to gather energy and grow strong for the next stage.
So the first year is all about growth, but the second year is when things get exciting. That primocane transforms.
Exactly. In its second year, the primocane matures into what we call a floricane.
Floricane, flower cane.
You got it. This floricane then stops growing in length, and its lateral buds awaken to produce flowering laterals. These are the stems that will bear the beautiful flowers and, subsequently, the delicious fruit that we harvest.
Oh, okay.
Now, both first-year primocanes and second-year floricanes typically sport those short, curved, sharp thorns that blackberry pickers know so well.
Ouch. Yes.
But I'm happy to report that significant advancements in cultivation have led to the development of many thornless cultivars, making harvesting a far more pleasant and less scratchy experience.
Thank goodness for plant breeders.
Absolutely. Unmanaged blackberry plants can form incredibly dense, tangled thickets. That's why in commercial operations, or even in a well-kept garden, they're often trained and supported using trellises, which helps manage their vigorous growth.
Keeps them under control.
Right. And these are incredibly resilient plants, capable of tolerating poor soils and spreading readily in waste areas, ditches, and roadsides. They can become quite prolific if left unchecked.
So, the flowers bloom, the fruit develops, but there's more to it than just sunshine and water. Genetic insights are playing a growing role, aren't they?
Absolutely. The flowers themselves appear in late spring and early summer, usually at the tips of those floricane branches. Each flower is a delicate site, about 2 to 3 centimeters or roughly 3 to 1¼ inches in diameter, with 5 pretty white pink petals.
Quite lovely.
They are. For fruit development to occur, the ovules within these flowers must be fertilized by pollen. It's actually quite common for inadequate pollinator visits, say from bees, to be a primary cause of undeveloped ovules, which can lead to smaller or misshapen fruit, or fewer drupelets developing properly. Pollination is key.
And even if pollination is successful, I understand there are other threats, like viruses, that can affect the fruit's quality.
That's a critical point. The raspberry bushy dwarf virus, for example, can sometimes infect blackberry plants.
Oh,
While it might not always show obvious visible symptoms on the plant itself, its presence can lead to incomplete drupelet development. This results in what growers often call crumbly fruit.
crumbly fruit doesn't sound good.
Not at all. It significantly impacts the fruit's texture and commercial value. They just fall apart.
So this is where genetics comes in handy.
This is where genetic research truly shines. Scientists have been hard at work identifying key loci-specific locations on chromosomes that are responsible for important traits.
Like what?
For instance, the ability of a primocane to produce fruit in its first year, known as primocane fruiting, which we'll talk more about. That's mapped to a specific F locus on LG7.
Okay.
Similarly, the presence or absence of thorns, or thornlessness, is mapped on LG4.
So they know exactly where the thorn gene is, basically.
Pretty much. This deep genetic understanding is invaluable for modern breeding programs. It allows for the targeted development of new, improved cultivars with desired traits like thornlessness, disease resistance, higher yield, or enhanced flavor.
Makes sense. Breeding becomes more precise.
Exactly. And it also opens avenues for potential genetic engineering, further extending the possibilities for optimizing blackberry production in the future.
Let's broaden our view now and consider the blackberry's global footprint. It's not just a backyard plant. It plays a fascinating role in ecosystems around the world, both as a beneficial food source and sometimes as an invasive species.
It's a plant with a dual nature, certainly. Ecologically, blackberry leaves serve as a food source for the larvae of various lepidopterans, certain caterpillars, forming a foundational link in the food chain. Grazing mammals, like deer, are particularly fond of the foliage. And once the berries mature and ripen, they become a crucial food source for a wide array of animals.
Like who?
Mammals like red foxes, American black bears, Eurasian badgers, lots of things love them, as well as many small birds.
And the birds help spread the seeds, right?
They do. These animals are vital for seed dispersal, inadvertently helping the blackberry plant spread its genetic material across landscapes.
That sounds like a healthy ecological role, but you hinted at a downside. Its vigorous growth can also make it quite problematic, can't it?
It absolutely can. Blackberries grow wild across much of Europe, where harvesting them is often a cherished seasonal pastime, highlighting their cultural and ecological importance there.
All right.
However, the plant's vigorous, unchecked growth can indeed make it a significant agricultural and environmental weed.
How does it spread so aggressively?
It's due to its propagation methods. Branches that touch the ground can readily root and start a new plant. Plus, new suckers emerge from its extensive root system.
So it attacks from above and below ground.
Pretty much. This leads to the rapid formation of dense, impenetrable thickets. And in many parts of the world, this unchecked proliferation has led certain species, like Rubus armeniacus, widely known as the Himalayan blackberry,
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that one.
and Rubus laciniatus, the evergreen blackbird, to be considered naturalized and invasive. They grow out of control in urban parks, suburban woodlands, and other natural areas, aggressively displacing native vegetation and impacting biodiversity.
So a potential troublemaker if not managed.
Definitely.
And I love this little linguistic quirk. Unripe blackberries are red, leading to the old saying, blackberries are red when they're green. Fun fact to tuck away.
Indeed, a charming bit of folk wisdom. It trips people up sometimes.
Now, shifting to the commercial landscape, Mexico has firmly established itself as the leading producer of blackberries worldwide.
It's quite dominant, yeah. What's truly remarkable about this is that almost its entire crop is destined for export,
Really? Where does it go?
primarily to serve the off-season fresh markets in North America and Europe. This intricate global supply chain is a testament to the persistent consumer demand for fresh berries year-round, regardless of local seasons. You want blackberries in January in Chicago. Think Mexico.
And that kind of global demand surely comes with its own set of agricultural innovations and challenges.
Absolutely. For instance, until about 2018, the Mexican market predominantly relied on the Tupi cultivar, which was originally developed in Brazil.
Okay.
However, Tupi has recently fallen out of favor in some Mexican growing regions, indicating a constant evolution in agricultural practices and preferred cultivars. Things change fast.
And what about growing them there? Do they have challenges with climate?
Well, what's particularly ingenious are the sophisticated techniques Mexican growers employ in regions where there isn't sufficient natural winter chilling to induce flower bud development.
So they trick the plants.
Essentially, yes. They use methods like chemical defoliation and the application of specialized growth regulators to artificially trigger blooming. ensuring a consistent supply for export.
Wow, that's some serious agricultural tech.
It is. Meanwhile, in the United States, Oregon stands out as the commercial leader in blackberry production. They yielded an impressive 19.3 million kilograms. That's over 42.6 million pounds
Good grief.
from about 2,500 hectares or 6,300 acres back in 2017.
And where do U.S. imports come from mostly?
Well, looking at 2017 data again, Mexico accounted for a staggering 97% of all fresh blackberries imported into the U.S.
97%.
But for frozen blackberries, Chile held a substantial 61% of the market share for U.S. imports. So different countries dominate different market segments.
It's clear that the United States has been a major hub for blackberry innovation. We see a lot of modern hybridization and cultivar development originating here.
Yes, the history of blackberry cultivation in the U.S. is rich with innovation. Take, for example, the Loganberry. This fascinating hybrid, a cross between a blackberry and a raspberry, was developed way back in 1880 by an American judge and horticulturalist named James Harvey Logan in Santa Cruz, California.
A judge. Interesting side hustle.
Apparently. The pursuit of better varieties often targeted practical challenges, like thorns. One of the first thornless varieties emerged in 1921.
But I heard those early ones weren't great.
Well, early versions often meant sacrificing flavor for ease of harvest. It was a trade-off. But significant breakthroughs truly arrived from the 1990s into the early 21st century, spearheaded by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the USDA, breeding programs.
Okay.
These efforts led to highly successful thornless cultivars, such as Triple Crown, Black Diamond, Black Pearl, and Nightfall, which is a type of Marionberry.
And why were these so important?
These innovations were critical because they not only made harvesting much more efficient, including allowing for machine harvesting.
Wait, less labor.
Right. But they also led to higher yields, larger and firmer fruit, and crucially, vastly improved flavor, overcoming those early trade-offs.
And the USDA ARS Blackberry breeding program at Oregon State University in Corvallis has been absolutely instrumental in this, creating some truly iconic varieties.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
The Marion cultivar, widely known and marketed as the Marionberry, is a prime example of their success. It's actually a complex cross between Chilem and Olali. And Olali itself is a Loganberry crossed with a Youngberry cross. So you see the complex genetic lineage behind many modern cultivars.
It's like a family tree for berries.
Exactly. Other notable trailing blackberry cultivars developed through this Oregon program include Obsidian, Newberry, Waldo, Siskiyou, Black Butte, Cotata, Pacific, and Cascade. A lot of familiar names if you follow berries.
Meanwhile, Arkansas has been busy too.
Absolutely. The University of Arkansas has also played a pivotal role, developing commercially successful varieties that are prized for being easy to grow, capable of producing fruit for a decade or more, and offering a diverse range of flavors, from delightfully sweet to refreshingly tart.
Nice.
These Arkansas varieties were often propagated and grown in Oklahoma nurseries before reaching wider markets.
So when we talk about cultivated blackberries, it's not a monolithic group. There are actually several distinct types, each with its own growth habits and ideal growing conditions.
That's a crucial distinction for anyone looking to grow them or simply understand the market. First, we have trailing blackberries.
Like the name suggests.
Yep. These are vigorous crown-forming plants whose canes trail along the ground. They absolutely require a trellis or some form of support to keep them off the soil and manage their growth.
And where do they grow best?
They are generally less cold-hardy and are best suited to milder climates, much like the Pacific Northwest or similar regions such as the UK, New Zealand, Chile, and Mediterranean countries.
And for those of us who appreciate an easier harvest, there are the thornless varieties, right?
Indeed. The thornless or semi-erect blackberries were a major breakthrough. These were initially developed at the John Innes Center in the UK and later by the USDA ARS in Beltsville, Maryland.
How do they grow?
Like the trailing types, they are crown-forming and very vigorous, also benefiting greatly from a trellis system. Some of the well-known cultivars include Black Satan, Chester Thornless, Dirksen Thornless, Hull Thornless.
Lots of thornless in the name.
Tells you what people wanted.
Yeah.
Also the Loch Marie, Loch Ness, and Loch Tay varieties, the latter two, have even received the prestigious RHS Award of Garden Merit in the UK.
Impressive.
Other notable thornless types are Merton Thornless, Smooth Stem, and Triple Crown. And Kokenska bistruna, also known as Kekek Thornless, is another significant Serbian cultivar widely planted globally.
What about blackberries that grow more upright, like some raspberries?
Those would be the erect blackberries, largely developed by the University of Arkansas. These are generally less vigorous than the semi-erect types and have a different growth habit.
How so?
They spread underground by producing new canes from root initials, much like red raspberries do, so they can pop up nearby.
Ah, okay. Any famous ones?
This category includes both prickly and prickle-free cultivars, such as Navajo, Watita, Cherokee, Apache, Arapaho, and Kiowa, a diverse selection for growers.
And for extending the harvest season, I've heard about ever-bearing or fall-fruiting types. That must be a game changer for growers.
It absolutely is. These are scientifically termed primocane-fruiting blackberries, a concept more commonly associated with raspberries.
Right, usually raspberries fruit on second-year canes.
Exactly. The University of Arkansas pioneered these for blackberries, releasing Prime Jim and Prime Jan back in 2004 as the first such cultivars.
How do they work?
They grow similarly to other erect types, but the key difference is that the canes that emerge in spring will flower in midsummer and then bear fruit in late summer or fall, all in the first year.
So you get two crops, or just a later one.
You can potentially get a small summer crop on the previous year's canes, floricanes, and then the main crop on the current year's canes, primocanes, in the fall. This allows for a much extended harvest season. The fall crop achieves its best quality in cool, mild climates like those found in California or the Pacific Northwest.
Okay, so for those of us in colder regions, are there truly cold, hardy options that can withstand harsh winters? Because that's always been a problem.
Yes, that's been a significant area of development to broaden blackberry cultivation. The Alini hardy cultivar, a semi-erect prickly type introduced by the University of Illinois, is particularly notable.
What's special about it?
It's cane hardy in USDA Zone 5. That was a crucial advancement, as it addressed the traditional challenge of blackberry production in colder winters, where canes often succumb to the cold, making cultivation difficult or impossible.
So varieties like Alini hardy make blackberry growing feasible in many areas it once wasn't.
Exactly. Opens up a lot more territory for growing them.
So, as fascinating as the cultivation and history of blackberries are, we also need to acknowledge some of the challenges, particularly when it comes to pests and diseases. Given their close botanical relationship, it makes sense that they share vulnerabilities with raspberries, right?
Precisely. Because blackberries and raspberries belong to the same rubus genus, they are indeed susceptible to many of the same afflictions. It's like they share the same weaknesses.
What are some common ones?
A common and challenging disease is anthracnose. It's a type of canker that can cause uneven ripening of the berries.
Ah, blotchy berries.
Right. And it can potentially impede the flow of sap within the plant, significantly impacting overall plant health and fruit quality. Then there's the raspberry bushy dwarf virus, which we touched on earlier.
The crumbly fruit one.
That's the one. It can affect both, often leading to incomplete drupelet development and that undesirable crumbly fruit texture, which is a major concern for commercial growers.
So what are the strategies for managing these shared diseases? Are there effective treatments or preventative measures?
Fortunately, there are. The Bordeaux mixture, a traditional and effective fungicide. It's basically a combination of lime, water, and copper 2 sulfate.
Old school remedy.
Very old school, but it works. It's a common treatment for these shared diseases. But beyond direct application, preventative measures are paramount.
Like what?
Growers are strongly advised to keep the areas between blackberry plants meticulously clear of weeds, volunteer blackberry suckers that pop up, and other grasses. These can create favorable conditions for pests and pathogens to hide and thrive.
Keep it clean.
Yeah, exactly. Furthermore, it's critical to be highly selective when establishing new plantings. Avoid planting near wild blackberries, which may already be infected,
Good point.
and instead purchase only certified disease-free plants from reputable nurseries. This proactive approach gives your crop the best possible start and significantly reduces disease pressure later on.
Beyond diseases, what about the insect pests that can really wreak havoc on a blackberry crop and frustrate even the most seasoned gardener?
Oh, there are definitely some villains here. One of the most serious and relatively recent threats to blackberries is the spotted wing Drosophila, or Drosophila suzuki.
Spotted wing. Okay. Is it like a regular fruit fly?
That's the scary part, no. This isn't your typical vinegar fly that's attracted to rotting or overripe fruit. D. suzuki is far more aggressive.
How?
The female fly has a serrated ovipositor, like a tiny saw, that allows her to lay eggs under the soft skin of fresh, ripe fruit, just as it's perfect.
Oh no, not wadding fruit, fresh fruit.
Fresh, perfect fruit. Once the larvae hatch, they develop inside the fruit, causing extensive damage and completely destroying its commercial value. It's a huge challenge for growers globally.
That sounds like a grower's nightmare indeed.
It absolutely is. Another common culprit is the blackberry aphid, Amphora ruby. As its name suggests, it feeds on both blackberries and raspberries, sucking the sap and weakening the plant.
Annoying little guys.
Very. Additionally, other known pests include Bitericin mentosus, more commonly known as the raspberry beetle,
Okay.
Lampronia corticella, the raspberry moth, and Anthonymus ruby, the strawberry blossom weevil, which, despite its name, also targets blackberry blossoms, damaging them before they can even become fruit.
So a whole rogues gallery.
Pretty much. Managing these diverse pests requires constant vigilance and often a sophisticated, integrated pest management strategy to protect the crop effectively.
All right, let's pivot from the challenges to the incredible advantages. Blackberries aren't just delicious, they are truly a nutritional powerhouse.
Absolutely. Let's delve into their macronutrient profile. Raw blackberries are composed of approximately 88% water, making them quite hydrating.
Good to know.
They have about 10% carbohydrates, only 1% protein, and a mere 0.5% fat. This makes them a relatively low-calorie fruit, providing only about 43 calories per 100-gram serving, which is roughly 23 of a cup.
Pretty low cal for something so flavorful.
Exactly. But their true brilliance lies in their micronutrient density.
What are the standout nutrients we're talking about here?
Well, a 100-gram serving of raw blackberries is considered a rich source, meaning it provides 20% or more of the daily value for several vital nutrients.
Like,
It includes a significant amount of dietary fiber, really good fiber content, which is absolutely crucial for digestive health and maintaining satiety, feeling full.
definitely important.
They're also an excellent source of manganese, providing 28% of the DV. Manganese is an essential mineral for bone health, metabolism, and antioxidant defense systems in the body. And of course, vitamin C blackberries offer 23% of the DV for vitamin C, well known for its immune-boosting properties and its critical role as a powerful antioxidant, protecting cells from damage.
Nice C boost.
What else? Beyond these, they also provide a moderate amount of vitamin K, contributing about 17% of the DV, which is important for blood clotting and also plays a role in bone health.
And even those little seeds, which some might find a bit bothersome, pack a surprising nutritional punch.
They certainly do. While often perceived as a minor inconvenience, blackberry seeds contain numerous large, firm seeds that are remarkably rich in beneficial compounds.
Such as?
These include essential fatty acids like omega-3, specifically alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA, and omega-6 linoleic acid. Both play crucial roles in overall health.
Wow, omegas in the seeds.
Yep. The seeds also contribute additional protein and dietary fiber, further enhancing the fruit's impressive nutritional value. And beyond these, the seeds are a source of potent phytochemicals like carotenoids, elagitannins, and ellagic acid, all renowned for their significant antioxidant properties.
Speaking of antioxidants, it seems blackberries are absolutely bursting with phytochemicals going beyond just the standard vitamins.
They truly are. Blackberries are a rich reservoir of various phytochemicals, a broad category of plant compounds. This includes polyphenols, flavonoids, anthocyanins, salicylic acid, and ellagic acid.
Okay, lots of complex names there.
Yes. Among these, the anthocyanins are particularly important. They're specifically responsible for the blackberry's characteristic rich, dark color.
Ah, the purple-black pigment.
Exactly. And they're also potent antioxidants. In fact, one report notably placed blackberries at the very top of a list of over 1,000 polyphenol-rich foods commonly consumed in the United States.
Top of the list? Wow.
Yeah, underscoring their exceptional concentration of these beneficial compounds.
That sounds incredibly promising for numerous health benefits.
While it certainly does, and the intuitive appeal of consuming dark-colored foods like blackberries for direct health benefits is strong, it's essential to present this with a scientific caveat.
Okay, what's the catch?
Well, the direct cause and effect link between consuming these specific phytochemicals in food and verifiable health benefits for humans remains an active area of research.
So we can't say for sure, eat blackberries, prevent X disease.
Not with scientific certainty for labeling purposes, no. Currently, such claims are scientifically unverified in the way needed for health claims on food labels. So while blackberries are undeniably a highly nutritious fruit, packed with vitamins, minerals, fiber, and these interesting phytochemicals,
Right.
we must be careful not to overstate specific health claims beyond what current robust science supports. Enjoy them as part of a healthy diet.
Beyond the science and the farm, blackberries have an incredibly rich cultural and historical significance. We're talking about human consumption dating back millennia, A true ancient superfood, you might say.
Absolutely. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence for ancient blackberry consumption dates back approximately 2,500 years.
How do we know that?
This fascinating discovery was made through the analysis of the stomach contents of the Herald Scarewoman.
The bog body.
Exactly, a naturally preserved bog body unearthed in Denmark. This ancient forensic evidence offers clear proof seeds and remains in her stomach that humans have been appreciating and consuming blackberries for a very, very long time.
Wow.
Makes them a truly historic dietary staple.
And their culinary traditions are equally deep-rooted, appearing in everything from wines to pies.
Indeed. Historical texts reveal their long culinary use. The London Pharmacopoeia, for instance, as early as 1696, documented the use of blackberries for crafting wines and cordials.
Wow, 1696.
Yeah, and they have also held a cherished place in traditional cuisine for centuries, commonly used in pies, jellies, and jams, often alongside other seasonal fruits like apples. But their utility extended far beyond just the kitchen.
Beyond eating them, you mean like in traditional medicine or other practical applications?
Precisely. Blackberry plants were extensively utilized in traditional medicine by various ancient cultures, including the Greeks, other European peoples, and Aboriginal Americans, for a range of ailments.
Any example?
A document from 1771, for instance, specifically described the practice of brewing blackberry leaves, stems, and bark as a remedy for stomach ulcers, highlighting a historical belief in their therapeutic properties.
That's quite a versatile plant. What other surprising uses do people find for it beyond medicinal applications?
The plant's versatility was truly remarkable. The rich, dark hues of the blackberry fruit, leaves, and stems were effectively used as natural dyes for fabrics and hair.
Natural dye.
Furthermore, Native Americans were known to ingeniously craft strong rope from the plant's tough, fibrous stems, showcasing their resourcefulness.
Rope from blackberry stems.
Wow. And, adding another layer of utility, the dense, thorny shrubs also served a very practical purpose as natural barriers around homes, cultivated crops, and livestock enclosures.
A living fence.
Exactly, providing a degree of protection against intruders and larger animals, thanks to their formidable, prickly nature.
It seems like every culture has its own stories and beliefs tied to certain plants, and blackberries are no exception. There's a particularly charming bit of folklore in the UK and Ireland about picking them.
There is. In the United Kingdom and Ireland, a traditional belief persists that blackberries should not be picked after Old Michaelmas Day, which falls on October 11th.
Why not? What's the story?
The legend tells that after this date, the devil, or sometimes a mischievous Irish spirit known as a puka, renders them unfit to eat by stepping on them, spitting on them, or otherwise fouling them.
The devil spits on the blackberries.
That's the story.
That's wonderfully imaginative, but I'm guessing there's a more pragmatic, perhaps scientific explanation behind this bit of folklore, isn't there?
What's truly fascinating here is how often folklore has a practical, observational basis,
Yeah.
and this legend is a perfect example.
Okay, what's the real reason?
As autumn advances and the weather turns wetter and cooler, the fruit becomes increasingly susceptible to infection by various molds, particularly Botrytis.
Ah,
All right. These molds can give the fruit an unpleasant appearance, a musty taste, and in some instances, potentially produce toxins. So, while the story of the devil or puka is vivid,
it's memorable.
the underlying message served a very useful purpose. It was a traditional warning to avoid consuming potentially spoiled or unpalatable late-season fruit, ensuring people stayed healthy without needing a scientific explanation about mold spores.
Makes perfect sense. Nature's warning system wrapped in folklore.
Exactly.
And beyond local folklore, there's also some deeper religious symbolism attached to the blackberry, particularly in Christian traditions.
Yes, according to certain Christian traditions, the blackberry's deep purple, almost black color, is said to symbolize Jesus' blood, a poignant representation. Furthermore, the crown of thorns, a powerful and central symbol in Christianity, is sometimes believed to have been fashioned from brambles, including blackberry canes, given their widespread presence and thorny nature in the region.
That's interesting. Is that definite?
Well, it is worth noting that while this is a deeply symbolic association, other thorny plants such as crataegus, hawthorn, and Euphorbia milli, often called the crown of thorns plant, have also been proposed as the material for the crown. It likely reflects regional variations in interpretation and plant availability.
Okay, so a possible connection.
Right.
So today, centuries later, with all this rich history and folklore, how do we primarily enjoy blackberries in our modern kitchens?
Today, the ripe blackberry fruit continues its versatile and beloved culinary role. It graces a wide array of delicious desserts, including crumbles, tarts, and cobblers. It's a star ingredient in jams, jellies, and preserves, of course.
The classics.
Definitely. And its flavor is also captured beautifully in wines and liqueurs. Plus, it's frequently combined with other berries and fruits like apples or strawberries to create complex and appealing flavor profiles in things like pies and crumbles. It shows its enduring appeal and adaptability in kitchens worldwide.
Okay, let's unpack this next segment because this is where we really dive into the philosophy behind the Blackberry, the complete adulting preserve collection.
Right. This is more than just recipes.
Exactly. This isn't just about accumulating recipes. It's about a profound shift in mindset, moving beyond passively consuming food to actively mastering kitchen competence.
It's about intention.
This is about cultivating the skills that demonstrate you know what you're doing, whether it's for thoughtful meal prep or for truly impressing your guests. Each of the 22 preserves in this collection is a stepping stone, building specific culinary skills and expanding your gastronomic horizons.
Before we delve into specific examples, let's establish the foundational principles that underpin this entire collection. These are the non-negotiables for anyone aspiring to, that higher level of culinary confidence.
Okay, lay them out.
First, let's talk about essential kitchen equipment. True culinary mastery begins with the right tools. We're talking proper canning jars with fresh lids for safe, long-term storage.
Now reusing old spaghetti sauce jars.
Please don't. Reliable preservation demands purpose-built containers. A digital scale for accurate measurements is paramount. It ensures consistency and precision, which are hallmarks of professional results. No more guessing with cups.
Right. Grams are better?
Much better. A candy thermometer is crucial for precise temperature control, especially in tasks like gelling jam or making caramel, where a few degrees can make all the difference between success and failure.
Definitely need one of those.
Fine mesh strainers and cheesecloth are essential for achieving clarity and smoothness in things like jellies or clear sauces. And finally, a system for clear labeling with permanent markers is a must for effective organization.
Date everything.
Absolutely. Track contents and dates, limiting guesswork and potential waste.
And of course, paramount to any form of food preservation is non-negotiable food safety standards. This is where responsibility truly comes into play.
Absolutely critical. This isn't just about following steps. It's about understanding the science of safe food handling. You must sterilize all equipment thoroughly before use. A cursory rinse simply isn't sufficient for preventing spoilage or worse.
Okay, proper sterilization. Got it.
Adhering to proper canning procedures, often involving a boiling water bath or pressure canning depending on the food's acidity, is critical for long-term, safe storage. This removes any element of hoping for the best.
No shortcuts?
None. Actively monitoring temperatures and pH levels using actual instruments provides crucial checks against bacterial growth, especially for lower acid foods. Always label everything with dates and contents. This is your tracking system for freshness and managing your inventory.
Makes sense.
And finally, storing preserves at proper, consistent temperatures, usually cool, dark, and dry, ensures their longevity and safety. These practices transform preservation from a gamble into a reliable scientific process.
For those of us juggling busy schedules, efficient time management is a core skill to integrate into the kitchen. How does the guide address that?
The guide understands this reality. It demonstrates how many preserves can be cleverly integrated into larger meal prep sessions, like a meal prep Sunday, maximizing your effort.
Okay.
For example, quick options, such as blackberry compotes or sauces, often require only 30 to 45 minutes of active cooking time. Pretty manageable.
Well, that's suitable.
Medium projects, like jams or chutneys, might take 1 to 2 hours, maybe a bit more with prep and cleanup.
Okay, a weekend afternoon thing.
Right. More advanced techniques, such as confits or fermentations, naturally demand significant planning ahead and longer processing or maturation times, sometimes days or weeks. But they yield incredible depth of flavor.
So plan accordingly.
Exactly. The collection strongly encourages batch processing multiple preserves at once, if you have the time and ingredients, to maximize your efficiency and intelligently stock your pantry.
And for real life, we always have to consider budget. How does this collection help us manage that?
It's all about strategic resource allocation. To optimize both quality and cost efficiency, the advice is clear. Purchase blackberries when they are in season and at their peak, freshness and flavor. That's when they're cheapest and best.
Makes sense. Buy in bulk in summer.
Exactly. Freezing berries at their peak allows you to preserve them year-round, avoiding the premium prices of out-of-season fruit later. The guide emphasizes that investing in quality ingredients yields superior results, rather than cutting corners with cheap substitutes that compromise flavor and texture.
Quality matters.
It really does. While acquiring proper equipment might be an upfront cost, it's an investment that quickly pays for itself through consistent success and by preventing waste from failed batches. Ultimately, homemade preserves, while requiring your dedicated effort, generally offer better quality and often cost less than comparable artisanal store-bought equivalents, especially the fancy ones.
Beyond the practicalities, there's a wonderful social aspect here. Thoughtful gift-giving and building social capital. This is where homemade really shines.
This is where homemade preserves truly shine and add value beyond the jar itself. Presenting homemade preserves in elegant mason jars with handwritten labels is a powerful demonstration of thoughtfulness and genuine effort. It instantly elevates them beyond generic store-bought items.
People love getting homemade gifts.
They really do. They make exceptional hostess gifts, moving beyond the usual bottle of wine. They're perfect holiday presents for those who seemingly have everything, offering a personal touch. As housewarming gifts, they subtly showcase domestic competence and care.
Look, I can make things.
Exactly. They can even serve as distinctive corporate gifts, standing out from standard fare and reflecting a sophisticated personal brand. These are gifts that genuinely connect and leave a lasting impression.
And once you've crafted these wonderful creations, you need a system for storage and organization. Can't just shove them in the back of the cupboard.
A truly effective kitchen operates with intelligent systems. This means organizing your pantry logically, perhaps by type of preserve, by flavor profile, or, most importantly, by date. First in, first out.
FIFO, right.
Implementing an inventory tracking system, even a simple list, is crucial to prevent waste from forgotten jars and to avoid overproducing items you don't use quickly. Utilizing a rotation system for optimal freshness ensures you're always consuming older stock first.
Practical.
Use storage containers that stack efficiently and label effectively, clearly indicating contents and the date you made it. And, as a seasoned cook knows, keeping backup recipes handy for when guests inevitably inquire about your secrets is always a good idea.
Good tip. Finally, it's about nutritional integration into a balanced adult life. It's not just about sugar.
Right. This involves a conscious awareness of what you're consuming. It means understanding calorie density for informed portion control, allowing for occasional indulgences without guilt. It's appreciating the abundant fiber and antioxidant benefits that blackberries provide, justifying their place in your diet. It's being aware of the natural sugar content compared to processed alternatives, making informed choices about sweetener levels when you make them. You control the sugar.
Big advantage.
It's harnessing the potential probiotic benefits from fermented options, consciously nurturing your gut health. And crucially, it's about strategically integrating homemade preserves into your overall meal planning for balanced nutrition, ensuring they complement rather than detract from healthy lifestyle, using them smartly.
With those core principles of culinary confidence established, let's explore a few key examples from the collection, highlighting the specific lessons each preserve teaches. Let's start with the cornerstone. Number 1, blackberry jam. This is about mastering the fundamental techniques that build a strong preserving foundation. The guide lists ingredients like 2 cups blackberries, 3/4 cup sugar, lemon juice, pectin, vanilla, salt. Pretty standard.
Absolutely. Making jam from scratch is a foundational skill that teaches you invaluable lessons. The process begins with proper maceration. That's letting the lightly crushed berries rest with sugar for about 30 minutes.
Why do that? Just mix and cook, right?
But this isn't just mixing. It's understanding the subtle science of osmosis. The sugar draws out the fruit's natural juices, creating a richer, more authentic flavor base before you even apply much heat. It makes a better jam.
Okay. Maceration first, then pectin.
Then comes pectin integration. Pectin is the natural gelling agent. The key here, the guide stresses, is understanding how to whisk the pectin with a small amount of the sugar before adding it to the fruit.
Why?
To prevent clumping. Pectin can form nasty little lumps if you just dump it in hot fruit. Whisking it with sugar helps it disperse evenly, ensuring a smooth, even set. This teaches you about hydrocolloid behavior and proper mixture dynamics.
Science. Okay, then cooking it.
Right. And finally, gel point recognition is key. This takes about 8 minutes of cooking. Whether you use the cold plate test, putting a dab on a chilled plate to see if it wrinkles,
Yeah, I've seen that.
or a candy thermometer aiming for about 220 degrees Fahrenheit or 105 degrees C, learning to identify the precise moment when the jam has reached its optimal consistency is a critical technical skill. It prevents a runny, watery jam or an overly stiff, chewy one.
getting it just right.
Exactly. And the final step is the proper canning process, usually about 20 minutes in a boiling water bath for high-acid foods, like this jam, for safe preservation. Essential adult responsibility for food safety.
So, beyond just making jam, you're learning about food science, consistency, and precision. What are the broader applications for these skills, the adulting applications?
Exactly. This is where the culinary confidence comes in. The ability to make a beautiful blackberry jam that the guide notes 185 calories per serving, mostly carbs and sugar. But with some fiber means you can confidently spread it on artisanal toast, elevating a simple breakfast.
Nice.
You can layer it into homemade pastries, showcasing your baking prowess, or you can gift it, beautifully presented in a proper jar, demonstrating not just a homemade touch, but a mastery of fundamental cooking skills that truly sets you apart. This skill is about creating quality from scratch.
Okay, moving on. Number 2, blackberry jelly. The goal here is crystal clarity standards. Sounds fancy. Ingredients: 4 cups clear blackberry juice, sugar, lemon juice, premium pectin, ascorbic acid. Jelly is all about achieving that beautiful, clear, jewel-like appearance. It requires a different kind of precision. The first lesson is juice extraction mastery. How's that different from jam?
For jelly, you need crystal clear juice. This means extracting it using a jelly bag or layers of fine mesh cheesecloth, and this is key without pressing or squeezing the fruit pulp.
Why no squeezing?
Squeezing forces tiny particles of pulp through, making the jelly cloudy. It requires patience, maybe 45 minutes of dripping, and technique for professional results. Let gravity do the work.
Patience for clarity. Got it.
Then, clarity preservation. You heat the juice gently, without boiling, before adding sugar and pectin. Boiling can also introduce cloudiness, so it's about temperature control.
Okay.
Precision gelling is next. Adding the pectin and sugar at exact temperatures and timing, following the pectin instructions carefully, is critical for a perfect set that's firm but not rubbery.
Right. Different pectins work differently.
Exactly. And the professional finishing touch. Skimming any foam completely from the surface before jarring, as foam also ruins clarity, and testing the gel point accurately. It's all attention to detail for that restaurant quality look.
And the adulting uses. Nutrition is similar calories to jam, maybe slightly less fiber because you strained it.
Right, around 165 calories.
Yeah.
Applications include using it as a glaze for pastries where appearance is really key, like fruit tarts.
Right.
Serving it with cheese courses where that clarity looks elegant. Or gifting it in clear containers specifically to showcase your technical mastery. It says, I know how to do this properly.
Okay, next up. Number 3, blackberry preserves. Aiming for heritage quality. Ingredients: 2 cups whole, perfect blackberries, organic sugar, lemon juice and zest, a vanilla bean, sea salt. Focus on whole berries here.
Preserves are about celebrating the fruit itself, keeping it whole or in large pieces, suspended in a light syrup. It's a more traditional heritage style. The first lesson is ingredient selection.
Picky about berries.
Very. You need to choose only perfect, firm berries to maintain their shape and visual appeal throughout cooking. This demonstrates quality standards right from the start. No mushy ones allowed.
Okay.
Then, general processing. You cook the berries with minimal stirring, very gently, specifically to keep them whole. This requires patience and technique to preserve the integrity of the fruit. You're not trying to break them down like in jam.
More patience.
Always. A key aspect here is natural setting. Often, preserves rely more on the fruit's natural pectin and the sugar concentration to create a gentle set, sometimes without added commercial pectin. It's about understanding natural gelling properties.
Interesting.
And the traditional finishing involves cooling the preserves gradually, and sometimes in the jars after processing, to help maintain the fruit shape and develop syrup clarity. It's a traditional technique for achieving those heirloom quality results.
And applications. Nutrition, again, similar, maybe slightly more fiber since the whole fruit is there, 165 calories.
Right. Adulting applications focus on presentation and quality,
Right.
displaying these in premium jars as craftsmanship gifts, serving them at special occasions where the whole fruit looks impressive, or maintaining it as a house specialty, showing your commitment to doing things the right way, the traditional way.
Let's move to number 4, blackberry compote. This is billed as weekend brunch mastery. Ingredients: fresh blackberries, maple syrup, lemon juice and zest, a cinnamon stick, cardamom pods, vanilla, salt. Sounds delicious.
Compote is a wonderful, versatile preserve that offers lessons in gentle heat management and flavor development, and it's quicker than jam or jelly. The first lesson is gentle heat management.
Low and slow.
Medium-low, generally.
Yep.
Cooking the berries over controlled heat teaches learned patience. No rushing or burning, preserving the delicate texture of the fruit rather than aggressively boiling it takes maybe 12 minutes. The beauty of compote also lies in spice extraction. Letting whole spices like a cinnamon stick or lightly crushed cardamom pods infuse gently, while the berries soften, develops subtle, complex layers of flavor, far beyond just adding powdered spice at the end. It's about letting flavors blossom over maybe 8 minutes.
Infusion, right.
Then there's natural breakdown. This happens over about 15 minutes. Some berries will burst, releasing their juices and thickening the compote naturally, while others remain largely whole. It creates a delightful textural variation-controlled chaos that shows an understanding and appreciation of different mouthfeels.
So not uniform mush.
Exactly. And finally, temperature awareness. Removing the compote from the heat while it's still slightly loose is key. Why? Because it thickens considerably as it cools. This demonstrates forward thinking, anticipating the final texture.
Good tip. Adulting applications. Lower calories here, maybe 135 per serving.
All right, less sugar often. The applications are delightful and highly practical. Spoon it over pancakes you made from scratch for an elevated breakfast experience. Layer it into Instagram-worthy yogurt parfaits for a healthy and appealing start to the day. Or serve it with French toast when hosting overnight guests who truly appreciate a thoughtfully prepared meal. It's about making mornings and brunches feel special and cultivated.
Number 5, blackberry fruit sauce. Tagline, culinary versatility. Ingredients, blackberry puree, maple syrup, balsamic vinegar, cornstarch, fresh thyme, black pepper, salt. Interesting savory notes here.
Sauce takes compote a step further towards versatility. The first lesson is base preparation. Creating a smooth puree, maybe using a blender and strainer, that works equally well for sweet and savory applications. This is strategic cooking, maximizing ingredient utility. Takes about 8 minutes.
Okay, smooth base, then thickening.
Right, consistency engineering. The key here is properly using a thickener like cornstarch.
Yeah.
You whisk the cornstarch with a small amount of cold sauce or liquid before adding it to the hot mixture
Why cold?
to prevent lumps. Adding dry cornstarch directly to hot liquid creates instant clumps. Making a slurry first ensures smooth thickening. Basic technique separating competent cooking from amateur mistakes. Takes about 6 minutes to incorporate.
Got it. Slurry first.
Then, the sweet-savory balance. This is where the balsamic and thyme come in. You adjust the maple syrup and balsamic vinegar, tasting constantly until the sauce is equally delicious, drizzled over panna cotta or served alongside roasted duck. This demonstrates culinary sophistication and flavor balancing over maybe 12 minutes of simmering.
And texture.
Texture optimization. You might strain the sauce again if you need it perfectly smooth for a specific application, or leave it slightly textured depending on its intended use. You make the choice.
Versatility indeed. Calories are lower again, around 105 adulting applications.
Drizzle it over that panna cotta for dessert. Use it as a glaze for roasted duck or pork loin. Or serve it alongside cheese courses when hosting multiple-course dinner parties, showing you can bridge sweet and savory.
Okay, last one in this section, number 6, blackberry syrup. For breakfast excellence, ingredients, blackberry juice, sugar, lemon juice, vanilla, cornstarch, salt. Sounds like pancake syrup, but better.
Exactly. This is about elevating a breakfast staple. The lesson starts with a quality foundation. Using fresh, high-quality blackberry juice, maybe left over from making jelly, demonstrates proper meal prepping, not just relying on processed breakfast products.
Right, use the whole juice.
Right. Then consistency engineering again. Just like the sauce, you whisk the cornstarch with a bit of cold juice before heating to prevent lumps. It's a basic technique that signals competent cooking. Takes about 10 minutes.
Slurry again, crucial step.
Very. Flavor development involves simmering the mixture for about 20 minutes until the syrup coats the back of a spoon, but remains easily pourable. Understanding proper consistency is key. Not too thin, not too thick.
The spoon test.
Yep. And the professional finishing touch. Adding the vanilla extract off the heat. Why? To preserve its delicate flavor compounds, which can dissipate with too much cooking. It's attention to detail for restaurant-quality results at home.
Good tip for vanilla, adulting applications. 135 calories, similar to compote.
Pour it over pancakes you made from scratch, obviously. Drizzle it on French toast for weekend guests who will be impressed. Or mix it into Greek yogurt for breakfast that prioritize both nutrition and fantastic flavor, far beyond store-bought flavored yogurts.
Moving beyond the familiar sweet stuff, let's delve into number 7, blackberry achar. This is about international competence and introduces bold global flavors from South Asia. Ingredients: firm blackberries, mustard oil, brown mustard seeds, fenugreek seeds, turmeric, chili powder, ginger, nigella seeds, jaggery brown sugar, amchur, mango powder, salt. Wow, quite a list.
Blackberry achar is a fantastic example of culinary adventure and respect for global traditions. An acar is a type of Indian pickle, intensely flavored. The process often begins with a cultural research phase.
Meaning you need to understand the technique.
Exactly. It often involves specialized methods, like heating mustard oil to its proper smoking point and then allowing it to cool before using. This step, though simple, demonstrates research into traditional techniques and understanding how they unlock unique aromatic profiles. It's not just using a different oil, it's using it correctly. It takes about 20 months for the oil prep.
Okay, blooming the oil. What's next?
Next is spice tempering, often called tadka or chonk. You toast the whole spices, mustard seeds, fenugreek, nigella in hot oil or ghee until they become aromatic and pop. This isn't just mixing spices in, it's the foundation of true flavor development, building a complex and authentic base for your achar over about 12 minutes. It teaches the art of layering flavors through heat.
Tempering spices. Got it.
The process of fruit integration requires patience. You carefully add the firm, just right blackberries so they hold their shape amidst the intense spices, rather than turning to mush. This requires the kind of patience you might not have had in your 20s. It takes about 15 minutes.
All right, and then it just sits.
Then comes the fermentation commitment. The achar is packed into sterilized jars and often left to mature or lightly ferment in the sun or a warm place for 5–7 days. This develops the flavors further and preserves it. It requires responsible planning ahead, not immediate gratification.
So it takes time.
Yeah.
Adulting applications. Nutrition is interesting. 165 calories, but with 6G fiber and 8G healthy fats from the oil.
Right, plus all those antioxidants from the spices. Applications are incredibly versatile. Serve it alongside Indian takeout to prove you can enhance even store-bought food with a gourmet, homemade touch. Bring it to potlucks, offering a unique, flavorful contribution that stands out. Or simply keep it in your well-organized refrigerator for when you actually cook, adding a complex, vibrant kick to lentils, rice, or even grilled cheese. It's a testament to your broadened culinary horizons.
Next, for true dinner party sophistication, we have number 8, blackberry chutney. Ingredients: mixed ripeness blackberries, shallot, balsamic vinegar, honey, fresh thyme and rosemary, black pepper, sea salt, toasted walnuts, red wine. Sounds classier than achar.
Blackberry chutney is indeed a masterclass in building complex, balanced flavors, perfect for sophisticated entertaining. It's less intensely spiced than achar, more about fruit acid-sweet balance. It begins with mise en place, like a professional.
Getting everything ready first.
Exactly. Meticulously prepping all your ingredients, finely dicing the shallot, mincing the fresh herbs, chopping the toasted walnuts before you even turn on the stove. This organization is a hallmark of an efficient and mature cook, preventing frantic searching mid-recipe. Takes 15 minutes.
Good habit, then.
Then you engage in aromatics development, sautéing the shallots gently until translucent and sweet, maybe 10 minutes. This seemingly simple step is crucial for building foundational flavor layers, adding depth to the chutney.
Building flavor from the base.
Right. The core lesson here is acid-sugar balance. Combining the balsamic vinegar and honey and cooking them down for about 20 minutes until syrupy requires careful tasting and adjusting. It's about understanding how to achieve that perfect equilibrium of tartness and sweetness that makes a chutney truly compelling.
Tasting and adjusting. Key skill.
Absolutely. Finally, herb integration in texture. Adding the fresh thyme and rosemary leaves near the end preserves their vibrant flavor. Incorporating toasted walnuts adds a sophisticated textural counterpoint and richness. This takes maybe 15 minutes total. The result is the kind of chutney that makes guests genuinely ask for the recipe.
Sounds amazing. Adulting applications. 175 calories, 4G fiber, 5G fat from walnuts.
Serve it with a thoughtfully curated cheese board where its sweet, savory notes can perfectly complement various cheeses. Pair it with roasted meats like pork or chicken that you didn't burn, or present it as a gracious hostess gift in a beautifully labeled mason jar, showcasing your culinary skill and thoughtfulness.
Number 9, blackberry mostarda. Tagged cultural synthesis ingredients: blackberries, sugar, white wine vinegar, Dijon mustard, mustard seed, mustard powder, bay leaves, white pepper. Mustard and fruit. Interesting combo.
Mostarda is a traditional Italian condiment, usually made with various fruits preserved in a syrup spiked with mustard essence or powder, giving it a unique sweet heat profile. Making a blackberry version demonstrates cultural synthesis. The first step is understanding the traditional foundation.
Learning the Italian way.
Right. You start with authentic Italian mostarda techniques, often involving candying the fruit slightly, but adapt them to blackberries. It shows respect for traditions while demonstrating adaptability. Takes maybe 20 minutes to get started.
All right.
Then comes flavor balance mastery. Achieving the proper sweet heat balance between the sugar, the vinegar, and the various forms of mustard Dijon, seed, powder, is crucial. It requires tasting and adjusting, understanding these core flavor principles over about 15 minutes of cooking.
Sweet, sour, and spicy.
Exactly. Texture sophistication is also important. You want to cook the blackberries until they are tender, but ideally still intact, suspended in the pungent syrup. This demonstrates advanced technique, usually taking around 25 minutes.
Not mushy.
Right. And the cultural integration aspect involves letting the finished mostarda rest for a bit, allowing the flavors to develop complexity, honoring the Italian tradition while creating something deliciously new. It's cultural appreciation through food.
Fascinating. Adulting applications. 195 calories, mostly sugar.
Serve it with charcuterie boards, demonstrating international food knowledge beyond just French or Spanish items. Pair it thoughtfully with specific cheeses, perhaps aged ones, during wine tastings. Or use it as a surprising condiment for Italian-influenced meats like bolito misto or roasted pork, cooked right at home.
Number 10, blackberry dulce. Cultural capital ingredients: blackberry puree, whole milk, heavy cream, sugar, dark rum, vanilla paste, cinnamon, salt. Sounds like a blackberry dulce delish.
That's exactly the idea. It's about gaining cultural capital by mastering a technique from another cuisine, in this case Latin America, and giving it a unique twist. It starts with international technique adoption. You begin by slowly heating the milk, cream, and sugar together, just like in traditional dulce de leche methods. This shows an appreciation for global culinary traditions. Takes about 40 minutes of gentle heating.
Okay, slow and slow.
Very slow. This requires patience and cultural respect. You need to stir constantly over low heat for passably an hour or more as it reduces and caramelizes. Understanding authentic techniques often means recognizing they can't be rushed. No shortcuts here.
An hour of stirring. That's commitment.
It is. Then comes flavor integration. You gradually whisk in the blackberry puree, rum, vanilla, and spices. You're creating a fusion that respects both the dulce de leche tradition and the blackberry flavor. Takes another 20 minutes.
Balancing act.
And the refinement process involves continuing to cook until it's thick enough to coat the back of a spoon, achieving that signature luscious texture. Attention to detail shows cultural appreciation. Maybe 15 more minutes.
Sounds decadent. Adulting applications. Calories are higher here, 225, with 10-gram fat from the cream.
Serve it at multicultural dinner parties to demonstrate global awareness and culinary skill. Use it as a filling for sophisticated desserts like alfajores or crepes when hosting international colleagues or friends. Or give it as unique, impressive gifts showing cultural sophistication and effort.
Last in this section, number 11, blackberry gastrique. Restaurant quality technique. Ingredients: sugar, red wine vinegar, blackberry juice, shallots, thyme, bay leaf, black peppercorns. This sounds fancy.
A gastrique is a classic French technique, fundamentally a sweet and sour sauce made by caramelizing sugar and deglazing with vinegar, often flavored with fruit. Mastering it definitely signals restaurant-level skills. It starts with caramelization mastery.
Getting the sugar right.
Precisely. You cook the sugar without stirring until it melts and transforms into a deep amber caramel. This requires precise heat control and understanding the various stages of caramelization, a skill that separates guessing from genuine culinary expertise. Takes about 8 careful minutes.
And don't burn it.
Absolutely not. Then comes the dramatic and crucial deglazing technique. Carefully adding the red wine vinegar to the hot caramel causes it to bubble furiously and deglaze the pan. Expect steam and splatter. This is how professionals create complex, sweet-sour flavor bases. Takes 3 minutes, carefully.
Okay, professional move.
Next is flavor development. You add the blackberry juice, minced shallots, thyme, bay leaf, and peppercorns. Then simmer and reduce the mixture, maybe 15 minutes, until it becomes glossy and syrupy, coating a spoon lightly. This demonstrates actual culinary training in concentrating flavors and achieving sauce consistency.
Reducing the sauce.
And the professional finishing touch. Straining the gastrique through a fine mesh sieve for perfect smoothness and adjusting the seasoning if needed. Understanding presentation and consistency is key in professional cooking.
Very chef-like. Adulting applications. Pretty low-cal, 95, mostly sugar carbs.
Use it to glaze a perfectly seared duck breast for a memorable date-night classic pairing. Enhance roasted vegetables like Brussels sprouts or carrots, elevating meal prep to a gourmet level. Or use it as a sophisticated base for vinaigrettes that will taste like they came from an expensive restaurant, showcasing your refined palate and technical skill.
Now we're entering the realm of truly advanced techniques and wellness focus, starting with number 12, blackberry confit. The guide actually calls this culinary investment banking. That's an intriguing metaphor. What's going on here? Ingredients: perfect blackberries, High-quality olive oil, lavender honey, fresh bay leaves, thyme, lemon peel, pink peppercorns, flaky sea salt, olive oil, and blackberries.
It certainly is an intriguing metaphor, and it aptly captures the essence of this high-value, low and slow preservation method. Confit usually means preserving something, often meat like duck, in its own fat. Here, we're poaching fruit gently in oil. It's about a slow wealth-building process in the kitchen. It begins with temperature precision. You heat a high-quality olive oil to exactly 160 degrees FA, that's about 71 degrees C, using a thermometer. No guesswork. This emphasizes owning and correctly using proper kitchen equipment, a fundamental aspect of precise cooking. It takes about 30 minutes to stabilize the temp.
Low temp, okay.
Then, you engage in aromatics investment. You add the herbs, bay leaves, thyme, citrus peel, and peppercorns to the warm oil to gently infuse it with complex flavors over time. This is a long-term flavor development strategy requiring patience and thoughtful planning, much like a strategic investment. Let it infuse for 15 minutes or so.
Infusing the oil first. Smart.
Next is the actual gentle wealth accumulation. You carefully add the perfect, unbroken blackberries to this infused oil and cook them very slowly, maybe 45 minutes, until they become jewel-like, tender yet intact. This technique builds value over time through careful low-temperature cooking, not quick, aggressive methods.
Poaching in oil. Interesting.
And the portfolio maturation phase involves letting everything cool together completely in the oil, allowing the flavors to integrate fully. Like good investments, the results improve with time and careful management. Let it cool for 2 hours at least.
So it's about investing time and precision for a refined culinary return. Adulting applications. Nutrition is different. 245 calories, but mostly from 24 g of premium olive oil fats.
Right. The applications are truly elevated. Feature the confit berries, drained on artisanal cheese plates that speak volumes about your discerning taste. The oil itself can be used for vinaigrettes. Integrate them into vibrant salads that elevate simple greens to a main course. Or serve them as the sophisticated, unexpected element alongside savory dishes like pork or even fish, transforming a dinner party into a high-value experience.
Number 13, blackberry conserve. Tagline, portfolio diversification, ingredients. Blackberries, dried cherries, crystallized ginger, pistachios, port wine, sugar, lemon juice, orange zest, a mix of things.
A conserve is traditionally a preserve containing multiple fruits, often with nuts and sometimes spirits, offering a complex tapestry of textures and flavors. The portfolio diversification metaphor fits well. The first step is asset allocation.
Mixing ingredients strategically.
Exactly. You combine different fruits, fresh blackberries, chewy dried cherries, nuts, crunchy pistachios, and aromatics, spicy crystallized ginger. Like diversifying investments, each component contributes different returns in terms of flavor, texture, and visual appeal. It takes about 12 minutes to prep.
Okay.
Then market integration. Adding something like port wine introduces sophistication and depth, linking the different elements together. Understanding how premium ingredients like fortified wine create added value is key here. Cook this down for about 15 minutes.
Elevating the mix.
Right. Risk management comes into play during cooking. You need to cook the mixture until it's thick and the flavors meld, maybe 25 minutes, but not overcooked to the point where the nuts become soft or the fruit turns to complete mush. Requires monitoring and adjustment.
Balance again.
And finally, long-term value creation. Cooling the conserve slowly allows the complex flavors to marry completely. Patient flavor building defines culinary maturity, much like patient wealth building defines financial maturity. Let it cool for 30 minutes before jarring.
Great analogy. Adulting applications. 195 calories, good mix of carbs, fiber, and 6G fats from nuts.
Serve it at business dinners or important gatherings where presentation and sophistication matter. Give it as impressive corporate gifts demonstrating taste and effort. Or stock it in the executive kitchen pantry for serving with cheese or scones during important client visits or meetings. It signals refinement.
Number 14, blackberry curd. Described as executive breakfast. Ingredients. Strained blackberry puree, egg yolks, sugar, unsalted butter, lemon juice and zest, salt. Classic curd technique, but with blackberry.
Exactly. Curd is rich, smooth, and tangy. Definitely an executive-level breakfast or dessert component. Making it well requires precision to avoid disaster. It starts with risk assessment.
Risk in curd.
The risk of lumps or bits. You must strain the blackberry puree completely through a fine mesh sieve. No shortcuts. A smooth curd is essential for a professional appearance and texture. Takes 15 minutes, maybe?
Okay, super smooth puree.
Next is temperature management. You whisk the egg yolks and sugar together until pale and thick. Then you gently heat the puree and lemon juice. This requires patience and precision for executive-level results, about 10 minutes.
Getting ready to combine carefully.
Very carefully. This is crisis prevention. You slowly temper the hot blackberry mixture into the egg yolk mixture, adding it gradually while whisking constantly. One moment of inattention or adding it too fast, and you get scrambled eggs. Like poor business decisions, it ruins the outcome, takes maybe 8 careful minutes over low heat or a double boiler.
Tempering eggs. Crucial skill.
Absolutely. And the final step is quality assurance. Once thickened, you remove it from the heat and whisk in the cold butter, piece by piece, until it's melted and the curd is silky smooth and glossy. This attention to detail separates amateur hour from boardroom quality. Takes another 6 minutes.
Luscious. Adulting applications. Higher calories and fat again, 210 calories, 14 g fat from yolks and butter.
Use it to fill elegant pastry shells or tartlets for client breakfast meetings or sophisticated brunches. Serve it alongside scones and clotted cream during executive consultations or afternoon tea. Or simply spread it on artisanal toast when working from your professional home office, a definite upgrade from basic jam.
Number 15, blackberry fruit leather. Meal prep mastery. Ingredients: blackberry puree, honey, lemon juice, chia seeds, vanilla extract. Healthy snack focus here.
It is, and it exemplifies a meal prep mastery mindset, planning ahead for healthy options. The process starts with a batch processing mindset. You create a smooth blackberry puree, perhaps using a food processor or blender, ensuring efficiency if you're making a large batch. Proper tools are key for good meal prep. Takes 20 minutes for a big batch. A key lesson is nutritional enhancement. The guide suggests adding chia seeds. Why? For an extra boost of omega-3s and fiber, turning a simple fruit snack into something more nutritionally dense. This reflects an informed approach to food choices, like someone who genuinely reads nutrition labels. Takes 10 minutes to mix in.
Smart addition. Then drying.
Right. Dehydrator efficiency, or low oven. You spread the puree evenly and thinly on dehydrator trays lined with non-stick sheets, or parchment-lined baking sheets for the oven method. Then you patiently allow it to dry at a low temperature for many hours, maybe 12, 16 hours, depending on thickness and humidity. This is about intentional food preparation, creating wholesome snacks rather than buying processed ones.
Long drying time.
It is, but mostly passive time. And the final step is storage systems. Once dry and pliable, you cut the leather into strips or portions, often rolling them in parchment paper, and store them properly in airtight containers with labels and dates. This organization demonstrates that you have your life together, even in your snack drawer. It takes 30 minutes to portion and pack.
Love it. Adulting applications. Pretty low cal, 65 per serving. Good fiber.
Pack these fruit leathers in work lunches that are both nutritious and don't embarrass you. Keep them in your gym bag for a natural pre-workout fuel that outshines commercial energy bars. Or include them in your travel snacks, reflecting a mature approach to avoiding airport junk food. Smart, healthy, homemade.
Number 16, blackberry fruit paste. Aiming for artisanal sophistication. Ingredients: blackberry puree, sugar, lemon juice, agar powder, balsamic vinegar. Like membrillo, but blackberry.
Exactly like membrillo or quince paste, it's a firm, sliceable fruit paste, often served with cheese. Making it demonstrates artisanal skill. It begins with the concentration phase.
Cooking it down?
A lot. You cook the blackberry puree slowly, often for an hour or more, until it's significantly reduced, maybe by half, and very thick. This develops expertise through patient practice, not seeking shortcuts. The concentration builds intense flavor.
Okay, thick puree, then setting it.
Right. This involves structural engineering. You use a gelling agent like agar powder, which needs to be properly dissolved in the hot mixture according to package directions, to create the firm, sliceable set. Understanding how hydrocolloids like agar work, not just blindly following recipes, is key. It takes about 15 minutes to incorporate and cook briefly.
Agar, not pectin here. Interesting.
Agar gives a firmer, cleaner set for this style.
Yeah.
Then, flavor complexity building. Adding a touch of balsamic vinegar towards the end enhances the depth, balancing the intense sweetness and tartness with an umami note. Takes 10 minutes.
Okay.
And the professional molding step. Pouring the hot paste into a lightly oiled or lined pan and letting it set completely, usually for 24 hours at room temperature and chilled. This requires planning ahead and having the proper equipment.
Patience again. Adulting applications. 175 calories, mostly carb sugar, but intensely flavored.
Cut it into neat geometric shapes for professionally curated cheese board presentations. It looks stunning. Serve small slices at wine tastings as a palate cleanser or accompaniment. Or give it as sophisticated artisanal gifts, demonstrating a refined palate and dedication.
Number 17, blackberry gel. Modernist technique. Ingredients: clarified blackberry juice, agar powder, sugar, citric acid, xanthan gum. This sounds like molecular gastronomy.
It definitely dips a toe into modernist techniques, focusing on texture and presentation. It starts with clarification science.
How do you get clear juice for this?
For a truly transparent gel, you need perfectly clear blackberry juice. This might involve advanced techniques like using clarifying enzymes like pectinase or gelatin filtration, which requires an understanding of food science principles beyond basic straining. Takes maybe 25 minutes actively, plus settling time.
Okay, sciencey.
Then hydrocolloid management. You properly hydrate or bloom the agar powder in cold liquid first, then heat it to fully activate its gelling power. Understanding the specific requirements of different gelling agents at a molecular level is crucial for modernist cooking. Takes 10 minutes.
Bloom agar.
Got it. Next, pH and texture control. Adjusting the acidity with citric acid affects flavor and gel strength. Incorporating a tiny amount of xanthan gum can modify the mouthfeel, making the gel less brittle. This is food science application, fine-tuning texture. Takes 8 minutes.
Xanthan gum for mouthfeel. Interesting.
And finally, precision molding. Using precise molds like silicone molds and controlled temperatures allows you to create specific shapes and textures, spheres, cubes, sheets, demonstrating technical mastery. Needs maybe 4 hours to set firmly.
Very cool. Adulting applications. Low cal, 55, minimal fiber.
Create striking geometric presentations for plated desserts at dinner parties. Use the gel as structural or decorative elements in fine dining-style dishes you make at home. Or simply impress your culinary-savvy guests by showcasing your knowledge of modernist techniques. It's about precision and aesthetics.
Number 18, blackberry fermented fruit, described as gut health investment. Ingredients: firm blackberries, sea salt, honey, filtered water, whey or starter culture, fresh ginger, black peppercorns, bay leaves, lacto fermentation.
Exactly. This is about harnessing natural fermentation for flavor complexity and potential probiotic benefits, a conscious health optimization strategy. The process begins with microbiome investment setup.
Creating the right environment.
Right. You create a salt brine, typically dissolving sea salt in filtered water. This establishes the selective environment where beneficial lactic acid bacteria can thrive while inhibiting spoilage microbes. It's like setting up preventative health care through your food. Takes 15 minutes.
Salt brine. Okay.
Next is probiotic culture introduction. You might add a starter culture, like whey drained from yogurt or a specific powdered starter, although wild fermentation is also possible. This inoculates your gut health portfolio with beneficial microorganisms for potential long-term returns. Takes 10 minutes.
Jump-starting the good bacteria.
Right. Then, fermentation environment management. You combine the berries, brine, starter if using, and aromatics like ginger and bay leaves in sterilized containers, ensuring the berries stay submerged under the brine, often using fermentation weights. Maintaining proper anaerobic conditions is crucial for successful fermentation. Takes 5 minutes to pack jars.
Keep oxygen out.
Crucial. And finally, patient health building. You let the jars ferment at room temperature for 7-14 days, monitoring daily for activity, bubbling and burping the jars to release pressure, but generally not interfering much. This teaches the consistency and patience required for long-term health planning through food.
Fascinating process. Adulting applications. 85 calories, 4G fiber, plus potential living probiotics and beneficial enzymes.
Include these tangy, slightly fizzy berries in your morning health routines, maybe alongside yogurt or oats. Serve them as a digestive aid or condiment after rich meals, a thoughtful addition when hosting. Or maintain them as part of a regular rotation of fermented foods in your diet, demonstrating a serious, informed commitment to your gut microbiome.
Number 19, blackberry shrub. Artisanal beverage crafting. Ingredients: blackberry puree, organic sugar, apple cider vinegar, fresh basil, black peppercorns, bay leaves.
Shrubs are drinking vinegars, right?
Exactly. Shrubs are historic, colonial-era drinks. Essentially fruit preserved in vinegar and sugar, creating a sweet tart syrup that's diluted to drink. Making one signifies artisanal beverage skill. It starts with fruit maceration.
Like jam, but different.
Similar start. You combine the berries or puree and sugar and let them sit, often for 24 hours or so. The sugar draws out the juice via osmosis, creating a natural syrup through enzymatic breakdown. It's a traditional fermentation starter technique as well.
Okay, sugary syrup forms. Then herb integration. You might add aromatics like basil, peppercorns, and bay leaves to the syrup, and let them infuse for another period, maybe 48 hours, to develop a complex flavor profile. This is craft beverage development, separating artisanal from simply mixing juice and vinegar.
Layering flavors again.
Right. Next is vinegar integration. You strain out the solids and gradually incorporate the apple cider vinegar, tasting to maintain balance between the sweet fruit syrup and the sharp vinegar. This creates a sophisticated drinking vinegar base. It takes maybe 72 hours total infusion integration time.
Finding the balance.
And the final step is the maturation period. You bottle the shrub and ideally let it age for 1 to 2 weeks in the refrigerator. This allows the flavors to meld and mellow, developing complexity. Patience creates products worthy of craft cocktail programs or sophisticated non-alcoholic options.
Sounds refreshing. Adulting applications.
Yes.
65 calories per serving of the syrup before dilution?
Mix the shrub syrup with sparkling water for sophisticated, complex sodas that are far more interesting than commercial ones. Feature it in craft cocktails where house-made ingredients are prized. It pairs well with gin or bourbon. Or serve small amounts, diluted, as a unique digestive after-dinner parties that follow proper courses.
Number 20, blackberry reduction. Essence concentration. Ingredients: fresh blackberry juice, honey, balsamic vinegar, fresh thyme, cracked black pepper, just cooking juice down.
It sounds simple, but achieving a perfect reduction requires technique. It's about intensely concentrating the pure essence of the blackberry. It starts with pure extraction.
Best juice possible.
Absolutely. You need the highest quality juice, likely strained very well, perhaps using techniques learned from jelly making. Using proper equipment ensures the foundation for final product excellence. Takes 30 minutes for good extraction.
Okay, clean juice, then reduce.
Then, controlled reduction. This is key. You simmer the juice slowly over controlled, gentle heat, maybe for 75 minutes or more, to concentrate the flavors without caramelizing the natural sugars or scorching it. Patience prevents burnt or bitter notes, preserving the bright fruit flavor.
Low and slow again.
Very. Flavor balancing comes next. Adding enhancers like honey, balsamic vinegar, and seasonings like thyme and pepper at precise points during the reduction helps to enhance, not mask, the core blackberry essence. You add them maybe halfway through.
Enhancing, not overpowering.
Exactly. And finally, consistency achievement. You continue the reduction until the syrup coats the back of a spoon thickly, but remains viscous and pourable. Not hard like candy. Understanding viscosity and proper endpoints is critical. Maybe 15 more minutes of careful watching.
Intense flavor. Adulting applications. 115 calories, concentrated sugars.
Use just drops or a small drizzle for intense flavor enhancement in properly made cocktails. Drizzle sparingly over desserts like cheesecake or ice cream for a professional finish. Or feature it in savory applications like a sauce for game meats or duck, where that concentrated flavor creates truly professional results with minimal volume.
Last one, number 21, blackberry vinegar. Fermentation mastery. Ingredients: overripe blackberries and scraps, filtered water, raw honey, apple cider vinegar with the mother, sea salt. Making vinegar from scratch.
Wow. Yes, this is advanced fermentation, demonstrating an understanding of both biological processes and a philosophy of sustainability. It embodies a waste reduction philosophy.
Using scraps.
Exactly. It's specifically designed to use overripe fruit and scraps that might otherwise be discarded. This is the mark of someone who understands food waste and resource optimization. True kitchen adulting. Takes 20 minutes to prep.
Okay, using leftovers, how does it become vinegar?
It's a two-stage process. First, controlled fermentation into alcohol. You mash the fruit with water and a little honey, yeast food, and let wild yeasts ferment the sugars into alcohol over 5-7 days in a loosely covered container. You're essentially making a weak fruit wine. Understanding this biological process is key.
Fruit wine first, then vinegar.
Then acetic acid conversion. Once the alcohol fermentation subsides, you introduce acetic acid bacteria, either from the mother in raw apple cider vinegar or naturally present, which convert the alcohol into acetic acid vinegar. This requires oxygen, so you switch to a breathable cover like cheesecloth. This takes 6-10 weeks through a patient biological process. Long-term thinking separates adults from instant gratification seekers.
Weeks, okay.
And finally, maturation and quality control. Once it tastes sufficiently vinegary, you strain it and bottle it, ideally letting it age for another 3-6 months to mellow and achieve complex acidity and depth. This is artisanal production requiring commitment and proper storage.
Incredible commitment. Adulting applications. Very low cal. 15, mostly trace carbs.
Use your unique homemade blackberry vinegar in salad dressings, demonstrating a deep understanding of acid balance and flavor creation. Feature it in cocktails or shrubs that require distinctive, house-made ingredients. Or simply maintain it as part of a fermented foods rotation. showcasing commitment to gut health, sustainability, and serious fermentation mastery.
Wow. This deep dive into the blackberry, covering all 22 of those preserves, has been incredibly detailed and instructional. It really shows us just how much depth one seemingly humble fruit can have.
It really does.
But as comprehensive as it is, it's really just a taste and introduction to the vast and rewarding world of fruit preservation, isn't it?
Indeed. The adulting preserve collection we've been discussing is deeply inspired by broader works, like the source mentions Spread 'em, the complete guide to homemade fruit spread. That title itself truly invites you to escape the ordinary.
Yeah, spread them.
It's about crafting jams, jellies, chutneys, and all these other things that sing with the authentic soul of the fruit, allowing you to reconnect deeply with nature's bounty, seasonality, and your own skills.
And the depth of knowledge and the practical skills we've explored with blackberries, from basic jam to confit and vinegar, are just a foundational step in that larger journey, right? These techniques apply elsewhere.
Absolutely. It truly opens up an incredible palette of ingredients far beyond what we might typically consider for preserving. Imagine applying these elevated culinary principles, this mindset of precision, patience, and intentional flavor development, to a vast array of other fruits.
Like what?
It's about coaxing out hidden harmonies and discovering unexpected pairings. The source material lists an astonishing range of possibilities, from the exotic équis,
Oh, ackee preserve.
apparently, to familiar apples and apricots, through to tropical delights like mangoes and pineapples, and even the intensely aromatic yuzu.
Yuzu marmalade. Yes, please.
Each one is a unique canvas for endless creativity, a portal to flavor ecstasy waiting for you to apply these newly acquired culinary mastery skills. It's an invitation to endless exploration in the kitchen. Hashtag tag outro.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? We've journeyed from the precise botanical definition of a blackberry learning, it's not even a true berry.
Right, an aggregate fruit.
Understanding its unique 2-year cane growth cycles, its significant global economic footprint, all the way to exploring the principles and practices behind that amazing collection of 22 sophisticated methods for preserving this incredible fruit.
You've seen how each technique isn't just a recipe to follow blindly, but a profound lesson in culinary precision, thoughtful planning, resourcefulness, and intentional development of kitchen competence. Real kitchen adulting.
By meticulously delving into the conceptual details of ingredients, the why behind the preparation steps, the strategic thinking about nutrition, and the impactful applications for each preserve.
You're not merely gaining recipes, you're building a robust foundation of confidence and true competence in your kitchen. This is how you consciously transition from passively surviving on convenience foods to actively knowing how to create high-quality ingredients from scratch.
It's about thoughtfully impressing guests, managing your resources well, and defining a truly well-managed and, frankly, delicious home.
Exactly. It's about demonstrating your intentionality through delectable effort. Knowing your stuff.
So here's a thought to mull over, something for you to ponder and perhaps explore on your own. If the humble blackberry can offer such a rich and detailed instructional journey towards culinary mastery,
And it clearly can.
what other common ingredients are waiting for your deep dive? What everyday food could you explore with this level of detail and intention? What culinary skill will you choose to master next, transforming it from a simple task into your own unique masterpiece?
Making you the person others always turn to for delicious ideas, reliable techniques, and confident kitchen advice. What will your next kitchen mastery project be?